on the countdown? Happy Thanksgiving.
Good morning.
Looks like we're good and by ourselves.
Yeah, everybody is still sleeping.
Nobody wants to be on the grind this early.
My headphones are not even working. They're just not working. I'm just going to have to use my speaker. My whole house will hear the grind.
Here we are. Shayna, you're not sharing with your group.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble. Okay, hold on.
Hey, it's going
Got
to
it.
kill you.
He won't kill me.
I don't even know how to do that. I have to be educated how to do that.
So, just because we don't have anybody watching live yet, we are still going to do a show for those that wake up at a normal time on Thanksgiving and want to watch it later. But we're here, EJ and the girls, or the girls and EJ. Which way should we say it?
I think it should be Ginny and Shayna and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Ginny, you on board with that?
Ginny, Shayna, and a boy.
Sure. She's the boss today. She's in charge of the show today, so we got to do whatever she says.
I'll tell you what, she has been kind of bossy and a little whiny.
Only because it was 6:40 in the morning. It's 7 o'clock in the morning today on Thanksgiving. I could have slept in. My office is dark. There's nobody here except for me.
You would miss the chance to hang out with us on Thanksgiving morning.
I will say this. I did get to sleep in 10 minutes.
Shayna.
Yes.
You actually got one of your Christmas presents early.
I did. And I'll be posting my pictures. I love my Barbie dolls. I've collected Barbie dolls since I was 12. I did sell most of my Barbie dolls when I realized I wasn't having a girl to decorate the room in. But I've kept my holiday Barbie dolls. And I get one every single year. And Jason's gotten me one. I don't remember if he got me one the year we were dating or if the first year was the first year we got married. But he's gotten me every single year. And then he's also replaced some older ones that I had bought like at yard sales that weren't in good shape. And then he bought me the very first 1988 holiday Barbie doll also. So,
wow.
Which was not cheap to do. So,
Shayna.
What a thoughtful man.
Officially a Barbie girl.
I am a Barbie girl.
In a Barbie world.
No, there's no Barbie world around here.
All right. So
this is the real world.
Everybody, this is Shayna's show. So If you don't like the Barbie talk, it's on her.
Actually, you brought it up. But
We could talk about GPTs because that's my thing that I'm nerding out on right now.
So first,
I can't help it. I can't stop.
let's do our scripture.
okay, hold on. So I have a couple. First was and I did this one because it's one that we've used plenty of times before. Everybody knows it. James 1:19 and 20. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. And so this right here emphasizes the importance of listening, patience, and maintaining a calm demeanor, even when addressing customer objections and turning potential blockades into opportunities. Good morning, Jason. He's on here.
We have a viewer. Thank you.
We got a viewer. Yay.
And since that one was a normal scripture we've used before, I went ahead and I got another one. So Proverbs 16:24. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. It reminds us that the power of kind, thoughtful communication and resolution is needed in resolving objections. Underscores how choosing words carefully can create trust and open the door to understanding even a challenging conversation. So
very good stuff.
I know there's good stuff in that Bible of ours.
You know, we're going to be talking about overcoming objections or blockades. Blockades is a weird for me, but I'll tell you, spoiler alert, a lot of the objection handling is preventing objections. So that speaks to the Proverbs verse speaks to the preventing side. And then the James verse is kind of on your reaction to the objection. Because it's kind of like we got Jason's distracting me.
I do have a baby grand, but this is not my actual house. But anytime anybody wants to come play my baby grand, you are welcome.
She just found a house to go sit in. Don't worry, people.
This is a fake StreamYard background.
Favorite customers' houses. 8 in the morning. We have two.
We have two people. Woo!
It's a party.
Saul, how do you say Happy Thanksgiving in Espanol? ¿Cómo se dice? All right. As he's figuring out how to spell that for us. Ginny, would you do the prayer?
I will. I would be happy to do the prayer. Lord Jesus Christ, be with us today on this day where everybody can agree in our country that there's something to be thankful for. This is a really special day because we can all find some way to gather and be grateful. We don't have to argue about anything. So thank you for that day that you give us. Bless everybody with bounty at their table and peace in their families today. Grant that anybody that doesn't have a table to sit at today, that somebody will reach out and ask them and be there for them. Bless all the people that are working hard to make beautiful meals for their families today and tomorrow. Be with us all and help us guide this show so that it could be a blessing to somebody out there today. And just bless Shayna, EJ, Jason, Saul, and anybody else that comes and joins us today in this show. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yappy?
I think it's happy.
Jappy Thanksgiving.
That is a cheat way to say it.
I think J's don't sound like that.
They sound like
you think of
it's probably Felice.
Jesus. Do you think of Jesus? So happy. I think it would sound about the same. Happy.
Yeah.
Son given.
But this reminds me of, in our family, we've always spoken Ukrainian until my grandmom passed away. But there's a lot of Americanized ways of saying things in Ukrainian that aren't really actually Ukrainian words, but we say them with a Ukrainian accent, and therefore they become Ukrainian.
Do you guys say like Ukraine English or Ukrainish
Yeah, kind of.
Spanglish?
Yep.
Like we do Spanglish?
Yeah.
All right.
Like my grandfather used to say,
Anyhow.
Salamagun. Salamagun. That
We're
is
having too
son of
much fun. We had 5 people watching.
I
and
mean,
that's way
we could just do Freestyle Thursday. I'm just saying, but it's fine. It's fine.
we can. It's kind of fun, but we can kind of do it loosely following. So let's start with, we should all share something that we're thankful for right now.
Mm.
That's what we do. Ain't that what you
Mm.
do, like around the table on
Mhm.
Thanksgiving? My family don't do that.
We do. We do
when I
that.
was a kid. Thanksgiving Thursday. Okay.
He's thankful for Thanksgiving Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'll go because I'm
Impressive.
thankful. Yesterday, I got a call from my friend EJ. It brightened my whole day. He just called me to ask me a question, and then we got into a conversation, and it was the best interruption in my workday.
Well, that was kind. That was kind. You know, it's kind of fun when somebody values your input. And we got such a great circle, the winner circle,
Mhm.
aka inner circle, that we have a lot of people with different strengths, and
Mhm.
we always know who to call.
Mhm.
Shayna?
I'm going to use the generic one. I am very thankful for my family. I've got 2 healthy boys, and I've got a healthy daughter-ish. And my family is going to be growing this next year with additions through marriage into our family. And so I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for the strong men that they have grown up to be, and that they let God lead them and guide them in their interactions. And yeah, and they love me. So there. Oh, and then inside my family, I got to mention Jason and how amazing he is. So
Mhm.
Yes. Jason is the wizard of light bulb moments. Uh, by the way, let's plug Jason for a minute. Uh, this past summer, we all built our hiring processes while we went through the book club study of Elevate by Tommy Mello. And part of my process is the disc profile. And Jason, by way of my office help, provides disc profiles with an amazing analysis of the results as well. So if you're interested in figuring out more about disc profiles, Jason, drop a link there for them where they can reach out to you and get that going. So my thankful, I don't know what's up with my voice right now. I'll tell you, I don't want to miss being thankful for my family as they're all growing into mature young adults. Even my youngest at 12, he's growing to be a very, very caring young man, very inquisitive. Uh, but then we have Eli and Everett and Gabby. Gabby's moved out and she's living her adult life, and she's doing well. Uh, Going to school and has a job, pays the bills. It's kind of fun to watch, but we miss them too. Uh, but I want to say this year, business wise, my business has done a huge turnaround since last year this time. A lot of you know last year I was in the middle of a Google shutdown, and rebuilding. At this time last year, I didn't have a Google listing for like 2 months up to this point, and a lot of things changed. And now this year, we are booming. Like I'm looking for 2 more techs right now, and we're opening a store. So lots of growth, and I just want to make sure that God stays the center of it, so that we can keep doing well. Uh, thank you, Jason. Um, Saul says he's thankful to be in this country. In my country, we have to ask government what we should be thankful for. Yeah, that's correct too. All right, so take us away, Shayna.
Well, we're going to be talking about potential customer blockades and how to spot them, how to understand the differences between objections and just excuses, how to overcome them through trust and through transparency, and then close the sale. So we're going to start off with first just understanding customers' perspective. So what are some of the what are some blockades that you might potentially have with customers, EJ?
Oh, you're muted, EJ.
Oh,
If
I thought he was speechless for a second.
that don't happen, not even when I'm sleeping. Uh, if we're talking about customer perspective, I want to start with the fact here, like one of our 3 brand promises at EJ's is personalized service according to your specific appliance need. So a lot of times you get objections because it's not something that they want or need. And if you're trying to sell what you want or need them to have, and it's not at all a want or need for them, then you're going to get the objection. And part of that is understanding what it is they want and need. And some people like to go in and just assume that they know what's best for everybody else and what they should want and need. And people don't operate like that. Like, you don't tell me what to do, what I want, what I can and can't have. Uh, it'd be kind of like saying, I'm not going to sell it to you because you don't need it or you don't want it, or saying you have to buy this. This is what you need. You have to get out of my house, right? So you have to come in with that caring attitude and ask questions, build the relationship, build a rapport, figure out what it is that's actually going on in their situation. We're on the Thanksgiving holiday, and a good example would be like if we had a customer last week that has their oven down. You might need, or you might want to sell them extra parts or whatever that would make it work, but all they want and need right now is for their oven to work by Thursday. And if you're trying to sell them a new oven that won't be in for 2 weeks, they're not interested in that. That's not serving them at all.
Yeah.
Find what it is that they need. It may be that they're selling the house this year and they just want to get me by a fix.
Well, and that goes right in. One of the points is underneath that is that blockades and objections are oftenly rooted in misunderstandings or unaddressed concerns because they may need that this week. And so there's going to be those objections there. But then also having active listening, which right there, you're going to listen. What is it? It shows empathy. It uncovers the real objective behind the stated issue. Jenny, do you have any additional thoughts on understanding the customer's perspective?
I mean, just EJ is so good at this. He goes over this all the time, but just asking questions, understanding what they need, and the importance of listening. first before you try to offer any solutions, but just to really understand. Like, we had a customer yesterday. Joe worked until almost 8 o'clock because this could possibly be her last Thanksgiving with her husband, and her stove wasn't working. And so he just wanted to get it patched for her. Like, it wasn't going to get totally fixed, but at least he could get the burners working for her.
Yeah.
So
That gave me
stuff
chills.
like that.
That gave me chills.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally, you know how strong that is? Like, Joe, she's going to remember Joe for how he helped her enjoy this last Thanksgiving potentially, like forever.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Like, good job, Joe. Good job.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to post my funny post that I post every Thanksgiving, which is him wearing a cape. But, people don't realize how important the guys and gals are that are out saving all the appliances this week. But for families like that, like, for some families, this holiday is more meaningful this year than it ever has been before. And that's just one example. So you never know what's going on in the background with somebody and why they need something so badly that you might feel is not that significant of a thing, but to them it really is. So just, going back to asking questions, like, what can I do to just get you by? If you can't get the part in time or whatever, like, what do they actually need in that moment? If you can just help them, then, like EJ said in the beginning, you're not going to have objections because you're trying to truly meet them where they are.
I want to share before you go to the next one.
Okay.
Because I had a cool story like this where somebody sacrificed for the customer. Shout out to Jerry Collins in the Facebook Alliance group. It's Gerard Collins, but he runs Jerry's Appliance. I don't think he watches our show, but he's an active member of our Facebook community. He serves my area as well. We have an overlapping area. And he went to this older woman's house on Monday and realized she needed a round igniter for her oven. And all of us carry the flat igniter. Some of us carry the round, but this was an oddball one. And she was hosting Thanksgiving for her family today. And instead of selling her the igniter that he wouldn't be able to be back in time to fix it before Thanksgiving and just kind of putting her in that spot, he said, I know a guy that can probably come and help you before Thursday, and I'll give him the part number so that he can come with it. Didn't charge her the service call for him so that she could afford to pay us. Because paying 2 service calls and the repair, like, he took that sacrifice to help this woman, and I got the pleasure of showing up yesterday with the right part and fixing her oven. I gave her a big discount and took a picture with her because she was so happy because her family was coming in, all of her little grandkids, and she got to make Thanksgiving dinner. And then I also gave her 5 for her grandkids, 5 of our little coloring books. And it's just what a great move and sacrifice Jerry made. And
Yep.
I'm just blessed to have been part of this transaction that I got to see the smile at the end. And, whoever she calls next time, because there's no love lost on Jerry. She is very appreciative of what he did, and she's very grateful and spoke very highly of him, and I did as well. And I just said, you call one of us, we're going to take care of you. I ain't going to try to take you, but I did give her some coloring books.
Yeah, Jerry's a great guy. Got to speak to him several times. Anyways, okay, so back on our little thing here. What the next point is actually understanding the difference between objections and excuses. And excuses could be budgets, could be timing, could be unsure about your service. So, Jenny, do you have any thoughts on um, differences between objections and excuses that you can share?
So I can't imagine making an excuse when I called somebody to my house to fix something because that just doesn't really align for me. But like if I'm in a place where I don't want to be sold to, then I have all kinds of excuses. Like I have to talk to my husband, I have to ask my mom, whatever. Like, but in our situation, I can't imagine even if I had a plumber, HVAC, appliance, somebody I've called to my house to repair something, then I expect them to give me the option to repair it and how much it's going to cost. So I don't understand. Like I can't imagine making an excuse, but I guess if they came up with an exorbitant amount of money or something that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
think about like maybe you need a sealed system and you don't have the funds or the means to pay for a sealed system.
I mean, I
That
would
right
say I might
there,
have to think about it. Like I
yeah.
might have to say like, but I don't know that that's an excuse. I think people deserve the opportunity to think about the decision they want to make when it's a really expensive repair like that. Like,
You know,
So, go ahead.
I'll take it for you here. I, I'm itching, but it's really cool to hear Jenny say that she can't even wrap her mind around it, and that's what we want.
mhm.
Is a lot of us guys out here and gals, we just want the customer to just say yes. This is what we think you should have, and yes.
Mhm.
Uh, but there is, and this is the real difference between an excuse and just an objection. So no doesn't always mean no, and when people make excuses, it's a form of a no, or the objections. So overcoming the excuses and objections is something you can do because, like you said, if you're calling somebody to fix something in your house and we come out and we give you a price to fix it, uh, the natural would be okay, yeah. But
I
a
might
lot of
ask questions. Like I might ask a lot of questions because I
right,
lean towards a C on the disc profile and I'm a scientist, but like I want to understand. But I wanted to just say, as you were saying that, EJ, I I think Saul made the funny remark about the shorts and sandals, but that really does speak to something. If somebody came in my house and they didn't look like a professional and they looked sketchy and I didn't trust them, then I might start to backpedal and say, I want to get a second opinion.
I
so
will, I will, I actually did that. So, EJ helped me pre-diagnose my ice maker not working. I have a general idea of what the problem is, but it was a little bit beyond my scope to fix it. So I called out the local appliance guy. EJ had me pull the fridge out. He had me test stuff on the backside of the fridge. This appliance company did not come out. They came out. They didn't do any of that. And then they tried to tell me that the part that needs to replace has nothing to do with what EJ and I even remotely came up with. It's like it's either this, or this, and they're like, it's this part up here, and we're like, and I asked them, I said, how can you even know it's that part if you didn't pull the fridge out and do those tests like EJ and I did? And he couldn't give me excuse. And the guy in the office like, well, this guy has 15 years experience. I don't care. Like, so I had to give him excuses. Like I don't believe your diagnostic is right. And so I get that.
so we're going to get to that at the I think on the next section, um, and the transparency and stuff. But you build the trust uh, by a lot of things you do or don't do. It,
Yep.
it may be your appearance. It may be things you say. It may be their recommendation that they received to call you. Uh, but the biggest thing here, and Jenny talks about me teaching sales and stuff. I just study this stuff and learn it from other people. So uh, don't give me too much credit. But they want this problem fixed. They call us to repair it. If they wanted to buy a new one, they would have just went somewhere and bought a new one. But they want to see the options. And people, when somebody wants something, all we got to do in sales is help them feel good about that decision to do it with us, right? So Shayna wanted her ice maker fixed, and this guy come in and had some other part that he had in mind that didn't make any sense, and she didn't feel good about it. Whatever he did or didn't do didn't make her feel good about the decision. And sometimes Jason said he still needs his ice maker fixed. Uh, so whatever you do or don't do, either side can help in that process. So if you say you need a sealed system, like a lot of times when we come in, uh, we get a diagnosis pretty quick. Sometimes we don't even have to put tools on it. We know. And then we go through the process to confirm it. That's part of building trust, even if you don't have to. Take something apart, look at it, let them feel like you've actually done something, right? And then you're giving them a price. And it's like, okay, I hear you that it's $1,500 to fix this fridge. It's $2,500. Tell me more. But they don't say that. They're like, I don't know. That's a lot of money. And, some people in our spot can just get defensive. They get offended and get defensive and say, that's they think I'm ripping them off or whatever. They just need more information. So if you go through the process of telling them why this happened, what you're going to do to fix it, why that's a good idea, and then help them think through the options. Because I'll say it sometimes, and you guys have seen me do it with you guys role playing. Yeah, it's a lot of money. You could probably buy a fridge for $1,500. Are you going to buy a fridge like this that you love? No. Do you have time to go to the store and find one and wait for them to deliver it? We can fix it today or tomorrow. It's solving their problem individually. If they're in the middle of a remodel of their kitchen, maybe they want a new fridge. They just wanted to see if they could get by a little bit.
Did he freeze?
Strong arm them to do a repair that they don't even want, then you're doing it wrong.
I feel like you sort of hit the next two, which was one, building trust through transparency. So being upfront about pricing, services, expectation, and also providing value before the sale. You're sharing your knowledge, you're offering tips, you're solving small problems up front to showcase the expertise. So you sort of hit both of those. It's very hard not to whenever we're telling stories, right? But that is one way, whether it is an objection or excuse. You have to be transparent about where you came up with this, and you have to be transparent about your pricing and your services. If you come in and you look sketchy, we're going to get excuses. If you look like you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get excuses. If you aren't sharing your knowledge on how you came up with the issue, you're going to get excuses. And that was the problem in my case. I asked him, I said, how can you tell me that this part is wrong when the diagnostic that we proved showed that the water was doing this, which this has nothing to do with the water. And he couldn't tell me even how he came up with it, but he wanted $400 to fix it. And
You know what's
so
unfortunate about that is he might even have been right.
he might, but
And
I don't have $400 to risk that.
but the fact is, you could be a great tech, but a poor communicator and poor at sales, and you don't get to
Yeah.
do the job. Like,
Yeah.
he's
And
been
the
doing it
conflict.
15 years. He may be great. He may know that that's the problem, and he may have even had the part on him. Uh,
He didn't.
but if he couldn't articulate to you, somebody
Yeah.
who was inquisitive enough to say, tell me why you think this is it. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
It's
he couldn't. And even
you,
when the
he
guy
lost the
called, like
trust.
he did, and the guy called the next week to say, "Hey, let's go ahead and," he said, "Your part is here. Let's go ahead and get this on the schedule." And I said, "I didn't approve the part." I'm thinking that they just got the part anyways, but I said I didn't approve the part, and I said, plus he couldn't tell me why he thought it was that, and the only reason that guy could say is, well, he has 15 years experience. Okay. But that still didn't tell me why he thought that part was the part that needed to be replaced.
You know what
And
happened?
he just couldn't.
He got offended. He got offended because you questioned his intelligence and his experience, and we talked about that. One in the James Bible verse, slow to anger and slow to speak, right?
Yeah.
And we also covered it in last week and this week now. It's not personal. It's
So,
our job is to help you feel good about what we are trying to offer you. And if
and
we
the
can't do
confidence
that,
to
we don't.
share,
The what?
like the confidence to share what's wrong. And so I
Mhm.
think that's part of the issue. Like when you're diagnosing something, if you're not truly diagnosing it, then you can't stand behind what you just said and educate the consumer on why that's the problem. So if they didn't pull out the refrigerator and they didn't do the diagnostic tests that Shayna already knew existed, and they just were trying to sell her something, then they didn't really have the confidence to share why. And so when somebody questions you, you should be able to defend why you think that's the issue. And you should be able to show the customer why that's the issue or what piece is broken or why it's not working. And I think you're right, EJ. If you take it personally and you just get offended, then you lose the opportunity to show them why you really think that's what's wrong.
Yeah. The one thing I like to say is while I'm explaining it and they start to like get to that light bulb moment, right? Shout out to Jason, Wizard of Light Bulb Moments. Uh, and I say, yeah, you obviously called the right people. You're in good hands. We're going to take care of you. And I'm going to tell you, if we just stop here for a minute, most of the people that watch this are techs. And we have two women, middle-aged women, homeowners, and I'm going to say it like this, okay? Because I know you're trying to get offended, and you know better. We all know who our target customer is. It's you. You two are right inside that target customer. Mine's even older than you guys. I seem to attract 65 and up. But the wife is usually the one that calls. They're usually the one that's there. They're usually the one making this decision, even if they're not there. Uh, but okay, so now we got past that. Listen to me, guys. That's out there. That's text. These two are our customers. They're sharing with you their concerns and what makes them feel comfortable or not comfortable.
Yeah, don't make me feel stupid.
If you're not
Educate me.
this, you're missing out. You're probably that guy in energy that got offended and didn't make the sale.
Yeah.
And if you're just going around collecting service calls, feeling offended all day, then you're not speaking to your customer.
Mm.
So what else do you guys uh, want to see out of a technician when they come? Just sum it up for them, because we might have just got their attention. Sum it up.
I want, I really want someone that can tell me, especially when when you're quoting a $400 repair, which is a lot it's a lot nowadays. And it's what we have, it's what the company has to have, and I get that because I had an electrical company. Um, but not everybody has $400 sitting around to fix an ice maker. If it was a stove, got to have it fixed. If it was the refrigerator not cooling, we got to fix it. Like the $1,500 no cool refrigerator, like I have to have a refrigerator, fix my refrigerator. But we don't have to have an ice maker. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, because I don't have to have that ice maker fixed, I need confidence. I need to know that if I hand you this $400, that at the end of the repair, my ice maker is going to work. And they do come professionally. They do come professionally outfitted. They come in a professional. It smells good, in a professional vehicle, so I don't have problems with that. It's the company that every warranty company, they use every warranty company, so they've warranted repairs on our appliances up to this point, and it's fixed. But this particular technician could not, he just could not build the confidence enough in me for me to be able to say, okay, here's the $400, so go ahead and fix. Was it Doug? No. I don't know if I'd want Doug diagnosing my ice maker. I don't think he's touched diagnostics in a long time. Anyways, that's for me. That's the big thing. I want confidence that if I hand over this money, that at the end of it, I mean, how many times do you get people that call back and complain? It's typically because a company has done a repair and the repair didn't work. And and those are, it's quite common. So,
I want confidence, but I don't want arrogance. I don't want somebody to treat me like I'm a stupid woman. I want them to feel like they should explain to me what's going on and to be respectful and to treat me like I actually have a brain and I'm asking questions because I want to make the best decision for my family. So, like we were talking about earlier, questions don't necessarily mean objections. Sometimes, depending on your disc personality, you might want to ask a lot of questions and get clarity around your decision, and you might need all the answers. And another personality might just be like, yep, I need you to fix my problem, and I'm ready to open my wallet. I don't care what you think. I just want you to fix it. So I think allowing the customer permission to be themselves and to acknowledge whatever needs they have is really important. And even as women, there's all different kinds of women with all different kinds of personalities. I happen to ask questions, and I'm not the smartest woman in the world, but I do feel like I have intelligence. And when I ask questions, I don't want people to be offended. I want them to be respectful and answer my questions.
yep.
Absolutely. See, that's one thing I do is I like to get in a comfortable atmosphere when we're having that conversation. Like, it might be at the kitchen counter. They may be sitting at the kitchen table, and I ask if I can pull up a chair or sit on the adjacent couch if they're in the living room. I just want to sit down and create this comfortable atmosphere where we're just talking. I'm not a door-to-door salesman. I'm not trying to strong arm you. And my tone changes. My the words I say change. I ain't trying to over talk and complicate it. I try to dumb it down, which is easy for me because I'm not super smart anyway. Uh, and I want to just talk through the situation. And if I can sense that they're a little taken back by the price, then we have the other conversation. I'm going to answer some of their concerns before they even have them. if I can.
Mhm.
But if they ask, it took me probably 2 years to get over oh my God, that's a lot of money, and not be offended or feel insecure because they think I'm a crook. It's like, yeah, it is. It's a lot of money. Uh, and thing I think about is, like, last week I took one of our vans in for tires, and they called me up after looking at it, and they said, you need rotors and brakes and different things. And I ask questions. And one thing I tell my techs is, have you ever gone to the mechanic and gotten a price that you were cool with? Like, never. It's every time I go, I'm like, gosh,
Yeah.
all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, solve my problem, fix it.
Fix
I
my
get it.
problem.
You're a professional. Fix it. And remember the value triangle: uh, fast, cheap, or good. You can only have two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want them to get my van back out on the freaking road right now. You want us to fix your ice maker, your oven, your fridge now. It's not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
You want a good job. And maybe they're not your customer. Maybe they called the wrong person, and it ain't because you suck. Maybe they're looking for fast and cheap, and you're not willing to sacrifice the good. Whatever it is. I'm gonna steal your clothes, Shayna.
You go for it.
The close is, understand that the way you respond to objections often determines the outcome. Shayna mentioned this guy that she provided an objection to, which is concern about the diagnosis or the price or whatever, and he didn't handle it well enough to solve it. You know what I mean? That Ginny's gone. If you didn't notice, uh, the way he responded changed the outcome.
Yep.
The way I respond changes the outcome. Because I feel like if I don't make a sale that should have happened, I failed my customer because I couldn't help them feel what they needed to feel to make a solid decision that can be comfortable with.
Yep.
And
Well,
she's not.
there
Anyway.
she is.
Right. Yeah.
The final piece was, this is driving me nuts. We got to be in our right seat. Present a win-win solution where the customer sees the immediate benefit of choosing your service.
Yeah.
So I was talking to one of my techs this week, and I mentioned this to Ginny yesterday too. Sales is not something you do to someone. And that's what a lot of us feel like.
Yeah.
If you're selling something, you're doing it to somebody. Sales is something you do for somebody. And if it doesn't create a win-win, then you're wrong.
Mhm.
I compared it to like a little give and take, right? When you say give and take, a lot of people think like tug of war. Well, tug of war doesn't end in a draw. There's a winner.
Mhm.
If you're thinking of like a boxing match, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, there's give and take, and then at the end of the day, there's a winner, right? It's not a win. There's not a win-lose situation. It's more like a dance
Mhm.
that you enjoy. You're helping somebody. You got to give a little bit. They give a little bit, and it's just kind of a little back and forth. We're having fun. It's a good experience, and at the end of the day, you get money, and the satisfaction that you help somebody. They give a little money, and their problem's gone. Everybody wins. This is how it works. If you're worried about sales and it just gives you the heebie-jeebies or whatever, you're doing it wrong. Treat it like a dance,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure everybody wins at the end. Otherwise, everybody loses. I'll tell you, even if you.
Yep.
All right. Closing thoughts.
Nope. Just
Not at all.
understanding differences between objections and excuses, building trust through transparency, pricing services, expectations, providing value, and then go close with confidence. 100%.
Yep.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, Gary.
Thanks for joining us. All right. We're going to plug Ginny and then plug my office out. Ginny has an exciting new GPT that is, it's a whole GPT library, basically. She's got on sale now 50% off at Outcome Academy. She has become the GPT wizard. She's the genius on this stuff. She has made a bunch of GPTs in Chat GPT that she is sharing with you that will help you run your business more effectively. It'll save you hours and hours and hours, countless hours of your time, and improve the quality of your business. Some of it's marketing, some of it's productivity. There's a mission and values builder if you're struggling with figuring out what direction you're wanting to go. She made one for me last night to help me make posts on Facebook to sell specific models of appliances as I go into
And
my
that
store.
one's in there now.
And it's in there.
Now everybody can have your personal GPT, EJ. And here's a little spoiler. In that GPT are actually instructions to target women in their 40s with the ad copy. So it is really specific for appliance sales in particular, but I like to think of GPTs as cheat code in Chat GPT. So if you go in there and you're like, every time I put something in, it never gives me back what I want. I've heard that all the time. And it takes a lot of effort and skill sometimes to keep crafting the inputs to get the output you want. So I did all the work for you for those items. So there's 6 GPTs in there. You literally log into your Chat GPT account. You click the link in the email that you get after you purchase, and then it will always live there in your Chat GPT. And then every time you want to sell an appliance, you put in the model number and it gives you all the ad copy for that appliance and even a picture of the appliance to put in your ad.
And I'll tell you, very reasonably priced as well, as she's lifting this Outcome Academy off the ground. Very, very reasonable prices. Every one of them is far less than the value of 1 hour of your time and will save you countless hours. So click the link. I'll share it in Facebook later too, but definitely check it out. Jason says ChatGPT is personal talk. I don't know if it's that one.
I'm not sure about that.
Pretty cool. I don't know if we can give ChatGPT the God label. Ginny will be the next voice on AI. Ginny AI.
I don't know if you actually want my voice, but you can have my brain.
Can we give Shayna? Can we give Cameron Ginny's voice?
Not yet.
All right. So also, my office help is a great resource. We talk about it every week, and I couldn't imagine running my business without them. Answering the phones and handling other back end office things. I couldn't imagine trying to hire a CSR. I have over 8 of them. And there's 20 something at your disposal if you need. So taking a day off is not an issue. Somebody decides they want another job, it's not an issue. You just keep on rolling. You never have to worry about that. So check out myofficehelp.com. Phone number's there if you want to set up a free consultation. Anything else, Shayna?
No.
Okay. And of course, servicealliancegroup.com. We want to help you start, run, and grow your home service business. And make sure you sign up for the all access so you can be part of the masterminds. They happen monthly. This month, December 21st, Zach will be leading Smart Budgeting.
I'm excited about that one.
If you haven't set up goals and budgets for next year, you're probably running late on this. So make sure you tune in for that one. They're Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern and go about an hour and a half or so. It's not all lecture. We do real workshops inside, and you get some pretty personal assistance throughout. But that's the Service Alliance Group podcast today, and happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you spend some time celebrating the fruits of your labor and enjoy your families this weekend.